I need you to take a journey with me. I need you to just close your eyes, try not to think, and just hear yourself breathe. And listen to every heartbeat and get lost in it. Because I need you to hear how powerful you are. I want you to know that with every breath that you hear, with every heartbeat that you hear, that is a testament to you being here. That is another moment where you survive. That is another minute that you broke. And I need you to keep it. I need you to hold on to it. I need you to keep that same energy. Hear yourself. Hear how strong you are. And I need you to take that moment and latch on to it so you can know for yourself how special you are. So you can know for yourself that we see you, that we hear you, and that we may not always understand what it feels like, but we're willing to learn. We're willing to accept you with all that and then some, because you matter. And every moment we get to have you, every moment we get to laugh with you, we get to smile with you, is a moment that makes us hear our heartbeat. It's a moment that allows us to take a breath. It's a moment that helps us continue to keep fighting. So before you make a decision to do something to harm yourself, make a decision to call and get help at 988. Simple, 3 numbers, 988. Reach out, get help, and make sure that if you don't do anything else, you keep fighting. So stay, because tomorrow needs you. Now let's talk football.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Pride Nation, what up, though? Man, I'm in a good mood. I'm feeling some type of way. TGIF, the schedule is out. I don't got to worry about the wins. I know the who. I know who the who is. I always knew who the who is. But to know the win is what really matters. See, you can know who you got to play, but knowing when you play them makes a world of difference. So today, what's on the docket? I'm supposed to be joined by a guest. I have faith that he'll show up, and if he don't, it don't matter. I'll get him back on. I'm not gonna miss anything. All right, I'll get him back on. But if he's listening right now, I did put that link into the Instagram chat, so you can jump in at any time. Just putting it out there. Good people, it's Friday. I'm in a good mood. Mother's Day is coming up, so to anybody who's in here who is listening, my female audience, happy Mother's Day to you. If you are dad who has to be both dad and mom, happy Parent Day to you. I want to make sure that everybody gets their flowers. There's a lot of flowers that need to be given out today. So here's what's on the docket. I got a guest coming in. I'm going to literally tell you my thoughts about the schedule overall. I'm going to tell you my prediction for the schedule based on when we play. So win, losses, and records like that. I'll give you a floor. I'll give you a ceiling. I'll even take it a step further and explain to you some concerns that I have and ask some questions to you, the audience. And then I'll also try my best to give you a chance to jump in and get this thing going with your own personal views of what the schedule looks like as we review this thing. People, but you know me, I have to go to the chat and see who's in the building with me. So if you win here, if you showed up, if you are one of those people who are here to represent, well, let me represent you in the best way possible and give you a shout out by simply putting something in the chat. I don't care what it say. Just give me something. My man Mike Kidd is in the building. We got my man Vash Starwin in the building. Friendly neighborhood Lions fan is in the building. My man Perry Ball is in the building. Easy Does It is in the building. That Fan Man is in the building. We got my man's John Jones in the building. Lions Rumble 81 is in the building. Giovanni Lyons II is in the building. He says, what's good? He said, what you got, Luke? I'm listening. Uh-oh. I got truth. Nothing but the truth. So help me, God. Detroit Made Me is in the building. Single Dads Club. See, this is one of the best titles out there, but shout out to you, my brother who get her done. But listen, he's in the building with us. I respect that. My man Mark Malice is in the building. Make sure I'm forgetting nobody. D-Map Zune is in the building. Billy Vendables in the building. What up, though, my brother? 1991 Max Stagg is in the building. BD Buster's in the building. Nemesis Breaks is in the building. Chris Cashball is in the building. Make sure I forget nobody. My man Looney Tune is in the building. Adam Whitehead is in the building. 9 Drinks is in the building. Abstract A is in the building. Man, that beard looking nice, brother. I see you out here looking real nice. I see you out here. You keeping it all, looks like it's all oiled up and everything. I respect the game. We got my man's Motown Football in the building. Dante Alexander is in the building. Joel C is in the building. And D Williams. And if you in here, please hit that like button. I'm about to upset a few people because I know they're not going to like what I'm about to say. It's not my fault. Okay. Oh, and Lions Fans Express is in the building. Your link is in Instagram. If you want me to drop it into the chat, that works better for you, feel free. But I should be getting joined by Lions Fan Express, whose channel is linked. And it's in the description. So if you want to jump in, he's another Lions YouTuber. And I'm just waiting on him to to get up in here. So once he get up in here, he can challenge me on everything. People. I really gotta find another job. I just do. I gotta find another job. But off rip, here's my overall view of the Lions schedule. I think that having the primetime games is awesome. I think that getting those games are exactly what you want. You want the national media to see us. But I feel like some of the games are more about the other team than they are about us. And that bothers me. That annoys me because I want it to be about us. I need the attention to be about us. The Lions have been disrespected long enough, and I want the attention to be about us. And so my overall view of the schedule is a simple one. It is the perfect roadmap to being battle tested. Shout out to Super Saiyan Lion in the building. Old Timer Dave is in the building. My man is a Packers fan. He's always been honest, and he's 100% rocker. He says, lost week 4, go Pack, go. Shout out to my man out there, Old Timer Dave. I see you in the back, brother. Give me a second. I'm going to add you in. I want to make sure I get you in here, all right? So I'm starting this show off with something that's simple that I think I need to talk about. Is the 2023 schedule easier than the 2022 schedule? I'm going to repeat it. Is the 2023 schedule easier than the 2022 schedule? We need to talk about it because I'm seeing things that got me going, uh-oh. And it's in the chat, but let me bring my guest in. My man Lion Fan Express is in the building. Oh, let me get this out the screen. I messed it up. That's all on me. That's on me.
All good. What up, though, Luke? How are you doing?
My man Lion Fan Express is in the building. And if y'all ain't been paying attention, he's been hard at work dropping video after video after video after video like he DJ Khaled with another one. Welcome to the show, my brother. What up, though?
Hey, I'm just glad to be on the show. You know, I've been watching your streams for, a couple years now. And shout out to everyone in the chat. Lions family, we're one, we all root for the same team. And, we're just here to talk football. So I'm ready to get it.
Hey, it is what it is. Shout out to my man, Dr. Detroit. Chrome is in the building as well. I try to make sure I hit everybody. You know what I'm saying? I try to make sure I hit everybody. But obviously, we're getting right into it. Give me your initial thoughts of the schedule as it stands right now. For me, I'm happy that we got the 5, prime time games. I'm happy, that they're giving it the thing. But there's some things about this schedule that's got me concerned. And I'm going to address those throughout this show. and have a little fun with it. My man Joe Lewis is in the building. What up, though? He said, "What's good, Luke? Glad to catch it live. Just want to show my support and drop that like for you." Hey, I appreciate that. I had to go a little bit later because apparently it's construction season. I'm gonna rant just for a minute. Lion Fan Express, if you're cool with that, you all right with that?
Hey, I'm all ears. So
Can somebody please explain to me why in the hell we got so many cones out, but ain't nobody touching nothing? Like, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to understand why is it so many damn cones everywhere, but I don't see a single person with a vest on that got a highlighter on it. Like, where's the reflector vest there? Where's the people with the hard hats? Why is it so many damn cones out all of a sudden in Michigan? What's really good?
just the potholes, man. Every year it's trying to fix the roads and never get it done. So
I feel like this might be a terrible solution, but I really feel like they need to expand the freeway across the country to include just a truck lane, and you won't have as many potholes. Problem solved. Just create a stupid truck lane, an automatic truck lane. Nobody gets in it but trucks. I'm just saying. I got people talking about that's the Michigan way. It can't be. It's for the Oklahoma drill.
oh my God.
Welcome to Michigan. I don't want to hit, man. I'm so depressed. It took me so long to get home. All right. So give me them thoughts on your initial reaction to the schedule.
Yeah, so the schedule dropped last night. Super excited for that. Of course, we got a couple leaks leading up to it, so we kind of knew some of the primetime games that the Lions were going to get. Not gonna lie, I thought they would get maybe 3 primetime games. They got 4, not including the Thanksgiving game. Honestly, I actually kind of like the schedule. I might have a little bit of a hot take on this, but I think that it favors the Lions for a couple reasons. The fact that hey, so
you say it favors them, okay?
Not the whole schedule, but there's parts of it that I like. So one of the things that I like is there's no cold games in the back half of the season. So like basically the only team that we play that's outdoors during the cold is Chicago in Soldier Field. We don't have to go to Lambeau. We don't have to go, any place north that's cold and outside. We play in a dome, so I don't have to worry about that. So that's one thing to think about. And then also that bye week is in the middle of the season. So, you ideally, you'd want to have it somewhere in the middle of the season, but you can have it usually earlier or later, depending on, what your injury kind of situation is. But that kind of marks the, halfway point of the season. So I kind of like that as well.
Okay, when you put it from that perspective, I did notice some trends there, but when you put it in that perspective, I can at least follow that. And for the people who ain't paying attention, the name is clear, Lions Fan Express. It is linked in my description. So go over there and show my brother some love and hit that subscribe button. All right. Now I gotta do it to you, right? I gotta do it to you. We gotta get to the part of it where we break these damn games down. Okay. I'm gonna try my best to keep Patty Luke under wraps, okay? Because I seen some things that's a little annoying, but we're gonna make it happen. So, without further ado, let's take a look at it. Obviously, opening the season up with the New York Giants at home preseason game, your first chance to see anything or any person really coming in. What are your thoughts about the preseason game that they set?
Yeah, I mean preseason to be honest, I think it's it's good and bad. Like it's good for the players that are trying to make the roster and it gives you a little bit of of a warm up before you actually get to the real games. But preseason to me isn't like the end all be all. Like you can do really good in preseason and not have a good regular season. So to me it doesn't necessarily correlate all the time. But when it comes to the opponents, I mean the Giants I think are a good team. They're coming off a pretty good season. The Jags are another team that made the playoffs, and then you're also looking at the Panthers. Of course, a lot of us are circling that game because of last season, but overall I think it's a couple good teams to kind of get you ready for your premier opener at Kansas City.
So it's safe to say that the dress rehearsal is this week 2 preseason game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was intriguing that they gave us 2 preseason home games and had the audacity to give us a game that we didn't care about against the Carolina Panthers, as if though we don't play their asses not too much longer after. I just want to know.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it doesn't that doesn't normally make sense. Usually, you got a team, it's a team that you're not going to play. Um, so that is interesting. That is interesting for sure. I don't know if they tried to do that because the whole field conditions last year or whatnot, trying to make up for it. But it's going to be a Ford Field, on the regular season, so that's kind of a good thing. But
I mean, you talking about literally at the playing them, you got what, maybe a few weeks, what, 5 weeks, and you get to come home and play them. I think they were trying to be funny. Now, obviously, we got to go through. You got to give me predictions. I want to know, what are your thoughts. Let's start off with week 1. We open it up on the road against Kansas City. How are you feeling? How are you feeling about that one in particular? Win, loss, how you feel? Draw?
yeah, so I think this is a perfect opportunity for the Lions to just go out and play against the best team. They won the Super Bowl last year. And, to me personally, I feel like we want all the smoke. If we're about that life, then we got to go out and, if you want to be a big dog, you got to drink from the big bowl. So basically,
Say
I'm
it
just
again.
being,
Repeat it for the people that's
if you
hard of
want
hearing in the back. Repeat
if
it
you
for
want to
them.
be the big dog, you got to drink from the big bowl.
All
Meaning
right,
you got
all
to play
right.
against the big competition, and Kansas City definitely is that team. So I think honestly, to me, it's a toss up. It can go either way. I actually like the Lions, sneaking off with the victory, but I could also see them losing that game to start the season.
Okay. Um, I look at it like this, and again, I could be wrong. Um, you know, I'm not perfect, right? I could be wrong. Here's how I look at it. Do I believe that we have a chance to beat Kansas City? Yes. Do I believe we have a strong chance to beat Kansas City? Yes. Do I believe we will beat Kansas City? Yes. And the reason for it is for the following one. One, I know the history. I know that they are 8-0 in season openers. Don't care. I don't care. History is made every single day. Things happen all the time. And I know that the Lions are like 0-8 in season openers. Don't care. Here's what I do know. I know that they're coming off a Super Bowl. Yes, they're going to be home. Yes, they're going to be all hyped up and all in love. Everybody's excited. But guess what? Nobody gives a shit, because there's one thing I'm using to gauge how these games are going to go, and that is rushing ranking from last year. And what did you do to add to it to continue to run? And as far as I'm concerned, they had the 20th rushing attack last year. Now, what does that mean? Absolutely nothing. However, the more and more I watch Kansas City, they really don't commit to the run. And if I was a team coming in to play the Lions, I'm thinking run the ball. And if you're not going to commit to it and you're going to decide to come out and pass the game because you need to feature your $200 million guy, even better. Because guess what? As you said before, if you're going to be the big dog, you got to drink from the big bowl. And at the end of the day, you got a lot of money invested into a secondary that needs to show up and put the clanks on it. Now, if they can't run the ball, great. But as far as I'm concerned, we start the season off with a win against Kansas City, because I can assure you that there's 2 games that if we lose, I'm pretty much going to stick to a floor point when it comes to their record. But I think they win that game. What do you think about the Seattle Seahawks game at home? Who you got winning that one?
Again, it's a team that we played last year, and there was no defense whatsoever. So I think that if this game, I think it's going to be a little different. I think that the Detroit Lions are, a better team. They are improved. And to be honest, I like us at home. I really do. I think that this is a game that we can win. And again, it's another good team, another playoff team from last year. But at the end of the day, any team is beatable on any given day. So give me, the Detroit Lions beating the Seattle Seahawks.
So you got us already out the gate 2-0, hot. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Look, unfortunately for me, I told you how I'm gauging this thing. They had the 18th ranked rushing attack last year. We personally played them last year and gave them a dog fight. There's a few wild plays that helped, that bounced like a punt return that was fumbled, and things like that. But here's what I know. I know that when they beat us, it wasn't because of a particular running back from Michigan State killing us. It was Rashard Penny. Like he had his 3rd best career day. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't him. So for me, I got us taking the L in this game. I do not believe that we've done enough to address the rushing attack of teams or mobile quarterbacks, and I suspect that given the fact that they're going to have Walker, given the fact that they are going to make sure that they commit to the run, I feel like that's going to be a problem for the Detroit Lions. And just coming off that second game, I think rookies are still getting into they bag. So I think we take an L there. I got them taking a loss, which sucks, but it is what it is. All right. Let's talk about this Atlanta Falcon game. This is the game where we get to talk about Jeff Okuda's return to the Detroit Lions, and we get to talk about Bijan, who feels like he should have been taken higher if you're gonna take a running back, and so all these other storylines the NFL is going to tell you. How do you see that one going?
Yeah, I think Atlanta, I think they're actually a better team than people get them credit for. I think their defense has improved. They've added, a future all-pro caliber running back in Bijan Robinson. And, obviously, you have the Jeff Okuda versus Detroit Lions in the mix as well. So, to be honest, I could see this being a closer game than it should be. But I do think that the Detroit Lions, being at Ford Field, I think that they can pull off the win and start this season hot at 3-0.
Boy, I ain't mad at you. I'm loving your take. I ain't mad at you. I just ain't as confident as you. However, I will say this. When I go through and I look at the rushing ranking from last year of the Atlanta Falcons, which ironically was third, and now you just added Bijan Robinson. No, it's not just him, it's other pieces, but now you added Bijan Robinson. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough outing. It's gonna be 100% battle tested, and I think that's another thing I noticed about this schedule. If we win in this schedule and we make the playoff, and can't nobody say we had an easy schedule. Can't nobody say we had an easy road or anything like that, because the way it's set up is it's not all that friendly in my opinion. And I'm cool with that. So off rip, with all that being said, and they got the third ranking rush, that's cool, but you're one dimensional. I don't think you're gonna be able to pass on us. I know you got Pittman over there, don't care. Right? Like I know who you did. I know who you added, but I don't care. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't see them passing the ball on us. I think they become one-dimensional, making it easier for us to defend. And I think we do the job and we get the win. So at this point, I got us at 2-1. You got us at 3-0. Now, again, not mad at you, but I'm just looking at the transactions and things that's already happened and going from there. And then obviously, we got to come back. We get a division opponent. We get the Green Bay Packers, into which my man Old Timer Dave says, go ahead and chalk it up as an L. But we going to ask you, what do you think it is, and how do you feel about it?
So, I mean, realistically, this should be a win. I feel like the Detroit Lions, obviously Aaron Rodgers got traded, and we don't even really know what Jordan Love is, to be honest. Like, we really haven't seen him play at all. So really that's kind of a wild card in itself. But, anytime I feel like the Detroit Lions go to Lambeau Field, it can go either way. It's the refs somehow, some way get involved. And it's going to be a primetime game too. So honestly, I think they should win this game, but I think that they're going to probably slip up and take their first loss this season at Lambeau. And then that'll probably be their first loss of the season.
All right, so you got them taking the first loss of the season to a division opponent. I'm a little bit different. I in my head, objectively, I don't see a reason why the Packers should ever beat us. I know that Jordan Love is a wild card person. I know that they did some things to help their defense out and stuff like that, but we should really be running the ball down their throat, and they should really be trying to pass on us, but we should be able to contend by stopping that pass, because you spent the money on it. And if you spent that money on it, at the end of the day, you have to do something that allows for you to get a stop. I think we beat the Packers because even though they had the 15th ranked rushing attack, I think we can. They don't show a commitment to the run. So any team that I don't believe shows a commitment to the run, it's gonna have some issues with the Lions, in my opinion. So I think we win that game. And to me, I wouldn't be surprised that I wouldn't be surprised if they came out and threw the kitchen sink at us and then some. So it's all good. Obviously, week 5 comes up, and we're playing the Carolina Panthers, a team that not only embarrassed the hell out of us, but basically made the national media switch to another game. They put up 247 yards of rushing in the first half. The first half, people. They finished the game with over 300 yards rushing, and I think that was just being generous. Like I really do. I think that was being generous. Who do you got winning this game? Obviously, the Lions are at home, but who do you got winning this game?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, the big matchup there, it's going to be Bryce Young versus the Detroit Lions defense. Obviously, the Detroit Lions are going to try to bounce back from the embarrassment of what was last season that really honestly cost us the playoff. Not Seattle, not or beating the Rams. It was this game in particular that I feel like changed the tone of last season. But Ali McNeil, I saw was in the Detroit Lions social media. He was actually the one that when they were asking the players which game they were looking forward to the most. He's the only he should, because as a defensive tackle, getting run on like over 300 yards rushed on you, you should feel disrespected like that. You can't take that level of disrespect. So I feel like the Detroit Lions are going to make Bryce, and I like Bryce Young, but I feel like they're going to definitely give him a welcome to the NFL kind of moment and definitely give, Panthers a, good run for their money. I'm going to take the Lions, and we're going to start the season off 4-1.
I mean, you're making me proud. I needed you here for a reason. This needed to be the case because I'm going the total opposite way. I think we lose this game, and it's not for reasons that you may think. They did finish with the 10th ranked rushing attack, but they are committed to running that damn ball. Like they're 100% committed to running the ball. They also have Frank Reich, a head coach that I respect. I really do. I respect that head coach. And then you take the fact that they decided to not only do that, but they go out and they get themselves a quarterback in Bryce Young who can move. And I don't know if people remember this, but the Lions last year really had a problem with mobile quarterbacks. In fact, if you look at the rushing yards of one Mr. Justin Field alone, he was essentially the only reason they had a lot of rushing yards for the Bears. Like the Lions struggle heavily against mobile quarterbacks. So you take a guy who's committed to running the ball with a quarterback who can run, who has receivers. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just think that that's a loss. I'm sorry. I wish that was not the case, but it's just is what it is. No way to get around.
I can't knock you for that. It's you're thinking logical, not necessarily emotion, and I respect that because realistically, a lot of these games the Lions should win. I think the big question for me is it's the defense, because like even though we improved this offseason, they haven't shown anything on the field yet. So it's like everyone's like, okay, the defensive back group is going to be great now because we got all these guys. They should be great because we spent all that money and added Brian Branch and other guys. So, but how are they going to mesh under Aaron Glenn? Because I'm just saying, to me, it's not going to just be a total fix right away. I feel like there's going to be some growing pains early in the season. So I can definitely see that being the case, especially run defense too.
Plus, if it wasn't Frank Reich, like this dude, look, remember what he did with the Colts? That man was committed to like we're a run team as well, but he was committed to it. Like he just was. And I just feel like, again, keep in mind, we can't predict injuries. That's why I'm treating it as if though everybody's healthy. But I'm just saying he was committed. So that it's huge for me to see that and go, okay, cool. Now, Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road against Tampa Bay. I'm gonna let you give you a chance because mine's gonna be short and sweet to what the answer is on this. So, what do you got, win or loss?
I mean, let me ask you a question, Luke. Who's their quarterback? I mean, honestly,
Baker fucking Mayfield.
Okay. You know what though? I'll put a little respect on Baker Mayfield. I do think he's not an all-world beater, but I do think he is better than people do give him credit for. He did have a little nice run with the Rams towards the end of the season, but I'm sorry, like unless it was Tom Brady, I feel like this should be a win, and they can get a nice tan line too down in Tampa Bay while they're at it. So
Yeah, this is real short and sweet. I'm a Lions fan too. I'm also a Seahawks and Bucks fan, and I follow all three teams with religion. Okay, like it's not a game, and I have no respect for Todd Bowles. I think Todd Bowles is not a good head coach. I think he's a phenomenal, excellent, great defensive coordinator, but as a head coach, he is not. And I don't fear them. It's a reason why they had the dead last worst rushing attack in the league, because Todd Bowles has no fucking clue what he's doing. He doesn't have no clue. It's the reason why Leonard Fournette was like, "No, I'm good. Let me get up out of here. It's over with." Because Tom Brady was the one running the show, and so for me, this is easily a win. This is a win. Go to sleep, wake up. They can add somebody great. It's still a win. Todd Bowles is their head coach. I have no respect for him as a head coach. Unfortunately, I think it's 100% a win. And as Steve will say, they should blow the Buccaneers out. They just should. It's just the truth. On the road against Baltimore. One of my statements is going to shock people, but what do you got for this one?
I mean, I'm going to kind of use some of your logic here. The Detroit Lions have struggled to defend mobile quarterbacks in the past. Lamar is one of the best, if not the best, mobile quarterback there is in the NFL. They added, some players in the offseason. Always a good team. It's tough. If this was at home, I would feel a little bit more comfortable, maybe giving the Lions the dub on this. But the defense hasn't proven that they can stop a mobile quarterback. And the last time we did play the Ravens, we know how that ended, unfortunately. So I do feel like the Ravens probably have the edge on this one.
Yeah, listen. I don't know about the rest of the fan base. I don't see anything that tells me they found the solution to the mobile quarterback, and that man runs. He definitely runs. And on top of that, J.K. Dobbins, they had the second best rushing attack because the quarterback can get the hell on, and then they can still turn around and hand it off. And then you add some more receivers. You give him Odell Beckham Jr. He still got a tight end going on. Like, it's too many things that I'm trying to make sense of at this point that I wish I could say, hey, it lends itself to it. Like you said, if we was at home, I'd be going win, right? But it's there, and it's in October, and it's cold in October, and they was tripping about being cold in Carolina. So I'm sorry, mobile quarterback, they can run the ball. Yeah, I expect us to take a L there. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Yeah. And yeah, shout out to Easy Does It. They did sign Adrian Martinez from Nebraska, which I actually like that undrafted free agency signing, because they need a guy who can, simulate these kind of quarterbacks. I'm sorry, Jared Goff, he's a good quarterback. He can't do Lamar Jackson type things. So if they can have a guy on the practice squad that can come in and give you a little bit of a chance to defend against that, I think that's a way they can improve. But at the same time, if you don't have the personnel to defend against them, you're not going to get it done. So it is what it is.
Good question by BD Buster. Then how we supposed to beat Kansas City? Patrick runs too. He doesn't rely on his legs. He wants to throw the ball. Yeah, he wants to throw the ball. He doesn't rely on his legs. If he was a guy who relied on his legs, if he was a guy that they game plan for him to run, I'll have a different view. But he's going to sit in the pocket because he wants to act as if though he's going to sit in the pocket. And that, to me, leaves room for Aiden Hutchinson and James Houston cause havoc. Like that's why. Like, if he was a guy that was committed to just running, cool. But it is what it is. It says it's not that cold. It's in the 60s in October. That's cold. They was tripping up. I mean, they was tripping up. You got to think we got a lot of California and Alabama people. I'm just going to be honest with you. We got a lot of people from Alabama in some warm states. I'm just putting it out there. But I get your point. October is great weather to a little wet. Hey, I'm just saying, I ain't took my kids trick-or-treating yet without it having some type of freezing rain or something like that. So I'm just putting it out there. And then obviously we go into the next week at home, Monday Night Football against the Las Vegas Raiders. How do you see this one going?
This one's tough because Obviously, they got a new quarterback, Jimmy G, who he's one of the best game managing quarterbacks in the NFL. But no, like I feel like the Raiders are one of those teams that have like all the talent, especially on the offensive side of the ball. You got Josh Jacobs, you got Devontae Adams. I know they traded away their tight end, but like they got a good offense. But their head coach, like, I'm sorry, I feel like he just isn't adequate enough to, be a head coach, and that's going to eventually, catch up to them. So I feel like prime time at Ford Field. I mean, to me, going into the bye, that should be a dub. But you know, this one wouldn't surprise me if they lost. Like, it could be a sneaky, like, just kind of almost like an old line thing to do. But what do you think about that, Luke?
It's funny because they so bent on telling me 60 is not cold. But my girl from the South, and you should see how she act when it's 60 degrees outside. Like her dad from the South. Every time he comes to Michigan and it's 60 degrees, he act like we just reinvented something new or something. Like, man, what this is? Where we at? They act like we in Alaska. I'm telling you, bro. When you ain't been in that cold weather and you've been in places where it's warm for the most part, and you talking about being outside or in a dome, if that was a dome game in Baltimore, I'll feel way better about it. But something tells me that's going to be a rainy, cold day. It get cold in Baltimore, and I'm just saying, if you think 60 is warm, cool. We're going to see if these boys we got from the South are going to be okay with it. I know too many people from the South. It goes 60 degrees and they spirit die, and I don't understand what's going on. I'm just telling you. Me personally, if I could live in Alaska, I really would. I hate the summertime. I hate it. Yeah, everybody's talking about they get winter blues. I get summer blues. I hate it. Every year a new bug comes out and it finds me. It irritates my soul. Can't take it. So I hate it. Here's my view. The Raiders still got McDaniels as a head coach. Yes, they added Jimmy G. This so far down the road, I don't know if he's gonna be healthy to be in this game. I can't trust that health. I just can't. On top of that, they had the 17th ranked rushing attack. However, Jacobs, somebody I think we can stop. I don't think he's somebody that's so dynamic. He's a good player, but I don't think he's somebody that's so dynamic that we're gonna have a hard time with. I don't feel like this is a trap game. I feel like this is like the Buccaneers game. This should be a beatdown. This should be a full-fledged beatdown. They should beat them for everything that New England did to them last year with the 29-0 win with Matt Patricia there. They should beat them because Matt Patricia was brought from New England and he was in New England jocking them. They should just beat them down. I don't think that we should be going into the season or looking at the Las Vegas Raiders thinking other than let's get in this game before halftime and get home to our people. Like, it should be a full-fledged beatdown. So at this point, do you know where you have them at the halfway point of the season? Because this is another talking point for me, particularly with the bye week. Do you know what your record is at this point?
I think I had them. Let's see, I had them losing to the Packers, and I had them losing to the Ravens. So I think, so like 6-2.
You got them at 6-2. That's where you got them at. You got them at 6-2. Me on the other hand, I have them at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3. So I got them at 5-3.
I mean, I would personally, honestly, Luke, I would personally feel more comfortable saying 5-3 than 6-2, just because of the teams that we play in that first half of the season, and also that defense, man. That defense, if they show up, great, we're good. But if they don't improve, it's gonna be a long year. So
right, and again, to me, one of the things that jumped out to me immediately about the schedule was literally in the middle of the season, not in the beginning. Like a lot of our NFC division teams got weird bye weeks. We in the middle. I love it. I absolutely love it. In the middle, you get to heal up, rest up, and then you get to go on this next stretch of games. And it excites me to know that we got that kind of love. I like that. But the more I look at this schedule, the more I am looking at this schedule, the more I realize how important that week 9 bye week is. because that back end looks like a bunch of trap games. That back
Yeah,
end
I know
looks
that.
like a bunch of setups waiting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, they need to start off. And the thing that I like about what you did is that you still had them going into the bye week with a winning record, right? Which means that they did a lot of damage early on. They don't need to win as many more games, which you got them at 6-2, right? You still got to win a few more games to kind of probably put this division away. I don't believe that 10-7 will win a division. I think you need at least 11 to guarantee the win. That's just me. But I think 10-7 may have to come down to you basically doing what I think you should do in a division. And with that being said, we got to get into the second half of the schedule. But before we do that, let me go and check this poll. 41 people have voted. 42 people have voted. With the simple question, is the 2023 schedule easier than the 2022 schedule? And 62% says, no, it is not. Kudos to y'all for that truth. Because I think this schedule is absolutely brutal. And it's because of how they got us going on the road, and you play home 2 weeks, and then you're on the road, and then you get down to the back end, and it's like, that's how you feel. I mean, to play the Vikings in 2 short weeks is a bunch of BS in my opinion.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I didn't understand that either.
It's a bunch of BS. Like why are we doing this? So for the people who did not vote, feel free to vote. But 36% said yes, it is easier. To you, 36%. God bless you. You are as sweet as they come. Thank you, because I don't see it, but I'm not saying you're wrong. I do want to put up another poll before we get into the second half, and then I'm gonna drop this thing in the chat so I can get people's perspective as we move this thing along a little bit further. But the next poll is a simple one, and it's basically a simple one. What is the minimum, the absolute minimum number of wins that you would accept? I need to know what is the absolute minimum number of wins and losses you accept. In other words, give me the floor of the record, because that's what it's going to boil down to. He's my man put in there quickly. 11. That 11
couple 11s.
That's crazy. Hey, I'm proud of these numbers, man. I'm dead proud of these numbers. I
like your 10s, 11s.
I know. I didn't expect that. I did not expect that. I was like 100% expecting them to be like, just like I was expecting them to give me something a little bit different than that. I don't know what I was thinking, but man, I didn't. Hey, I'm gonna ask the community. I put it out there. Let's get into the second half of the schedule. But damn, they lit this thing up faster than I don't even think I fully got the question now. Let me just go back and hit on some of these really quick, because I do want to make sure people get their stuff acknowledged. And shout out to you for having these higher standards. I'm absolutely loving this. I mean, look, straight out the gate, 11. Like, it's 10.
That's good.
11. Like, the fans are speaking. They're not taking this BS this year. 10. 11. It gotta do better than last year. So I guess that's the 10. All right. We got to win the NFC. Oh, I'm gonna say that for another show. I'm gonna say it for another show. 12-5. I told you, Luke. Okay. 10-13. At minimum 10. All right. I ain't mad at you. If Goff blows a tire in the Chiefs game and misses time, 9. Okay. So you put in a caveat. If we lose a key contributor, you do it. But I'm loving it. 12 wins, sweep that division. Okay. 11. Hey,
12,
shout
13.
out to y'all, man. These are the kind of standards I be wanting to see right here. All right. I like that. That got me pumped. I'm trying to calm myself down. All right. We come out the bye week. We got a little refresh. We probably got a few injuries that don't even matter. But the first game is on the road against the Los Angeles Chargers. How do you see that game going?
Yeah, so I think the Chargers. I don't know if you saw their social media post,
Oh, I definitely
but
saw that agent
yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
if you
So
got a gambling
so
problem,
yeah,
yeah.
so I'm gonna be a petty Lions fan express right now and say we
Okay.
go out and we beat them because I'm sorry, like that it was all cute and stuff. Like I love anime, so I love what they were doing until they hit me with the Lions with the gambling, and I was like, okay, now they're just doing us dirty. So
Yeah,
I
the
feel
disrespect was real.
I feel like this is a game that they come out, fresh off the bye week, and that they can definitely come in and just, win that game. I mean, it's Justin Herbert. He's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I really like Austin Eckler as well. He's a really good running back. Keenan Allen's great, but I feel like that team, it's going to be a battle of the coaches, and I think Dan Campbell, I think he beats out their head coach, Brad Staley.
Okay, listen, I'm joining you on this. I think we win this game. I think getting that rest helped. The fact that they had the 30th ranked rushing attack last year, and I know that they quarterback is mobile, but they rushing attack is not consistent. It just isn't. And yes, they're going to be passing the ball, and yes, the quarterback is going to be running, but that should not be enough. It's a reason why you went out and brought in Aiden Hutchinson, and I expect for him to start to show more signs of straight dog. My views of his first season, many ain't gonna like, but it is what it is. I thought it was okay. It was nice. It was just okay. Because the reality was it wasn't consistent throughout the entirety of that first season. But in my opinion, I'm with you. They're going to remember that gambling joke thing, and it's not going to be funny. And the person who's going to remember it the most is Jameson Williams, who they're going to find ways to get him the ball by all means necessary. It's going to be reverses, jet sweeps, and everything else. So off rip, I got us winning that game and pushing that record a little bit further because I do think the disrespect was a little too damn much. All right, it just was a little bit too much. Obviously, they come out that and they come home and they're going against the. I don't even want to call them damn Bears. What's another word? What's an animal that looks like a bear? But it won't bust a grape in the fruit fight. What's the animal for that? Let me see. A sheep? Nah. Let me see. I'm trying to find something. I want to find an animal that's supposed to be vicious, but it should be vicious, but it's not. Like,
I mean, a teddy bear is pretty.
there we go.
Chill,
I'll
but...
take that. Yeah, we're gonna give him a stuffy on this one. Luke, Patty Wolverine hater had to show up.
Hey, go green.
Y'all can feel all special about it, but I'm just saying consistency is what I go by. I know James Houston was consistent for 8 weeks. That's all I'm saying. A panda will rip your face off. Are you serious? Pandas are vicious. They look cute, but a koala bear. There we go. Nailed it. Koala bear. Even though they have some tendencies that have been a little temperamental, they ain't gonna do nothing. Good koala. Sloth. I'll take sloth. Yeah, so we playing the Chicago Sloths and the Chicago Koalas because I'm sorry. This should be a win. This can't be a loss. I know he ran wild last year. I know they added offensive tackles. I know they added other linemen. I know they added receivers. I know all that. This needs to be a win. We should sweep the Bears. Like I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. 2 wins against the goddamn Bears. Like and they had the number 1 rushing attack. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Still beating them. It was all done with a guy that's now on our team. Good luck with that one. Yeah. It should be a sweep. It should be 100% sweep. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Monty, when they were doing the video, that's the game, he was looking forward to the most. It's kind of a reason why he signed with the Lions, because he wanted to play the Bears twice. So I think he's going to go off. I think he's definitely going to have a chip on his shoulder heading into that game. The only thing is, I hope that they just don't overlook this game and look towards Thanksgiving. Like I know this, I'm not saying it's necessarily a trap game, but you got to put your foot on their throats and keep going. You can't let off the gas because if you do, we're gonna have to, it could be a potential game that surprises us. But I feel like they're gonna beat the Bears. So give me the Lions to beat the Bears.
Listen, at this point, we in the second half of this season. If we ain't figured out at this point with our defense how to stop mobile quarterbacks, we in trouble. We not gonna win no playoff games, and this I'm just sorry. And as Steve pointed out, he did a lot of damage on the ground. Nip that in the butt now. Nip it in the butt now. Shout out to D Williams who said y'all missed the obvious Chicago gummy bears. I did miss that one, but I didn't want to use the gummy bears because guess what? At least I enjoy the gummy bears. I have no enjoyment of this bear team at all. I just don't. I'm sorry. It don't happen. Obviously, we come back, we play the Packers at home. I'm gonna put it out there again. We should sweep the Packers. I'm sorry, we should win that game.
Yeah. I mean, I know I had them losing early in the season. That's just because it's at Lambeau,
But
and
we home now on
but we're
Thanksgiving, I believe.
home on Thanksgiving. The Lions haven't won on Thanksgiving in a while. I think that we're going to be eating turkey good that
Yeah,
day because and some sweet potato pie because this is going to be a game where we're set up. It's to me, it's a layup. You're playing the Green Bay Packers. You don't need any more motivation to play good, and it's on Thanksgiving. People are actually going to be tuning in to watch this game, so it's to me, it's a win. They definitely should, in my opinion, beat this Green Bay Packers team at home.
and then obviously we go on the road with a little bit of rest before we got to play this team, the New Orleans Saints. How do you see that one going?
I mean, again, I feel like the Lions can beat any team on any given Sunday. That being said, I mean, you got obviously the narrative between Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn being from the Saints, and then playing against their former team. I think the Lions lose this game. I think that this is a game where they probably should win, but maybe things don't go well. Maybe Goff throws an extra interception or two, and things just don't click. They're kind of been on a winning streak, but they end up kind of faltering a little bit heading into December. So
Yeah, this is one of those games that I definitely look at as a trap. It's 100% a
mhm.
trap. I feel the trap coming on. It's a trap game. However, I think we win. I think we win. I think we go into there and we win. We have to. like we have to. Like and my heart tells me, yeah, the Saints are a team who had the 19th ranked rushing attack last year. But at the end of the day, you know, they're not committed to the run. Most of that was because they were doing weird stuff with Taysom Hill. You're not that committed to it. And if you're not committed to it, I'm not afraid of it. I think we win that game. Again, respectfully, I think we win that game. Then, we already determined that we should sweep the Bears. I think you in agreement with that?
For which the Chicago Bears?
Yeah. It's in Chicago. And
I know that's the one cold game that we have that's towards the end of the season that's in the cold, but I mean realistically they should sweep the Bears. Like to me the Bears they're not, I don't think they're as bad as people make them out to be, but at the same time they are going to be it's going to be between them and the Green Bay Packers, who are is going to be at the bottom of the NFC North. So yeah, give me the Lions to beat the Bears. I feel like that's going to be a game where might be a little closer than it should be, but yeah, I think that's a good game.
Super Saiyan Lion says, "Bro, are you and Dose of Dion brothers?"
Hey man, no,
you terrible, bro. No, they look nothing alike.
Hey, I wish. Shout out to Dosa Dion, man. He's been doing it for a while. Follow him as well. He's a great Lions YouTube creator. But nah, I don't. Maybe.
All right, now at this point, I'm just gonna let y'all know before we get into these last few games. Have you been keeping track of your record, Mr. Lions Fans Express?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe I have 3 losses. So we have 4 games left. So that would mean that we are at 12 games. So we should be at about 8-3.
All right.
think.
So
Um,
you have them at 8-3, and no, I mean, look, you got them at 8-3. I got them at 10-3. Yeah,
okay.
that's where I'm at. I got them at 10-3 at this point
All right.
because it's about to get real now. Again, it's a lot of trap stuff that it said they sounded like too. Man, that is terrible. They dog. They do look alike. Damn, he does look like Dosa Dion. Bruh, shout out to Dosa Dion. We got to get your double gang over here and get the twins up. I'm gonna find a way to get that set up. I'm gonna be like, bruh, you gotta go check out Lion Fans Express. Everybody is saying y'all look like each other. We got to do the Devilment Twins show. You got to go give them some love and support so we can get that channel to grow.
For sure.
So just put it out there. But
and then, hey, Luke, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to interrupt. I'm gonna have to leave real quick. My computer, so unprofessional. My computer's
no,
gonna die.
You good. We finna run through these last few games. You got a minute to run through these last few games with me.
1%,
Quick,
0%.
I'm finna do it real quick.
Okay.
All right. Give me win-loss record for Denver, Minnesota, Dallas. Them the last games.
Win, loss, and honestly, I'm gonna say loss. I feel like, actually, I don't know. The Minnesota Vikings are a good team, but I can see it.
Oh, I lost him. The computer shut itself down on me, y'all. The computer shut itself down on me. Shout out to my man, Lions Fan Express. He came through. He did his thing, and I appreciate him for coming through. It is linked in the description. So if you go in the description, you will see him under the guest. Go and subscribe to the channel and check it out if you have not done so. His record essentially has them basically at, from counting right, he said win, loss, win. So he has them at 10-7, basically. It is what it is. He has them at 10-7. Now, at this point, I'm already got them at 10 wins. I think we lose to the Denver Broncos. Oh, everybody's, you talking about Sean Payton? No, that's why they fired Hackett at the one season. When I was trying to fire our coach at the one season, I was called an idiot and a fool. Meanwhile, the Cardinals have done it. The Texans have done it. And so forth and so on. The list continues that way. And the reality is this. Denver getting Sean Payton makes a difference. They have running backs. They have receivers. They have a defense. They've added pieces. And I got to be honest, I think we lose that game. I think we lose that game. The game on the road against Minnesota, if that game was outside, I would say lost. But it's inside. I think we split with Minnesota. So essentially, I'm giving us a win there. That brings my total to 11. And then I think we lose to them. And then I think after we lose to them, we lose to the Dallas Cowboys. Although I think we can sneak one in on the Dallas Cowboys, I think essentially we finished this thing with an 11-6 record. It did not start the way that many of you thought I was going. Y'all thought I was going to probably have something different. But 11-6 is what I have them as my way too early prediction. And my ceiling and floor predictions. My ceiling is that the Lions can win up to 13 games. There's a few games that if they come out, they can easily swap them out. Like, in my opinion, you can sneak one in on Denver, but I think it's a trap game. You can sneak one in on Dallas. I think that's a trap game. It's impossible to play Minnesota outside. They both play in domes. No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I said if that game was outside game, I would have gave Minnesota the win, but it's not. So, yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't even do the whole "let me open the dome up so I can cause them some problems" type thing. But at the end of the day, I think that 11-6 is about what the national media is averaging for the Lions record. And so with that being said, I was excited because that kind of basically segues into what I was feeling anyway, which is Lions expectations should be the same. You should be expecting 11 wins. You should. And for the floor, if you got 10, I'm not gonna kill that because I feel like, look, you gotta have one, right? You gotta have one, right? So it is what it is. But I feel like you should be expecting a double-digit win season. Anything outside of that, I feel like you're cheating yourself. It says, sorry about that, guys. Oh, wait, he's back. He came back like like Jason did in all those Friday the 13th movies when we thought that he was dead with the head cut off and it somehow reattached itself and he came back. Thank you for coming back, sir. I thought she was out of here. I thought she was done. Oh, I can't hear him now. What's going on, coach? Nope. I hear nothing. I hear nothing. I hear nothing. It says that you're muted. Let me try now. Nothing. I would try seeing if it's connected to the microphone, that little sprocket. I'll give you a second and do it. But yeah, I got us at 11-6, and that's it. In terms of my ceiling, I got us at, like I said, 13 wins. The floor, you're not gonna like the floor because I only see about 8 games that are guaranteed wins. 8 games that I feel like are guaranteed wins, which is obviously 2 games against the Bears. I feel like those should be guaranteed wins. 2 games against the Packers, that's 4. A split with shout out to my Roar the Lion family member over here, the handsome and more diligent version of my twin brother, my man Anthony from Roar the Lions UK. Lions fan, let me see if you get yourself together. Is it back yet? Nothing. Dang it. Let me try something. Hold on. I'm going to take you out and bring you back in. Let me see if that'll work. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'll give you a few. Maybe you got to log out and come back in or something like that. But we'll see how it go. It just is what it is. My man Antoine, he says, I don't see us losing no more than 5 games. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I had them at what? 11-6. So if you got them at 12-5, cool. But I think there's only 8 real strong games. And to me, the floor can get real ugly real fast. And I think the floor can be like 8-9. I really do. Because I think there's some games where we should win and we should be knocking it out the park. I don't know if that's going to be the case. But yeah, I can see your point of that with no less than 5 wins. To me, I don't like how certain games that they lined it up in a certain way, like they want those games to be playoff games. And I don't like that part of it. But again, that's just my early predictions. One of the things I'm looking at is whatever their rushing was last year, I went through and looked at the rushing that they had last year. Because I'm telling you, if I'm a team coming in and I'm trying to figure out how am I beating the Lions, it's running the ball. If the secondary is as good as you all pointed out to be and believe it is to be, then you should think that most teams would not really want to go too hard against it, you know, especially when you got pass rushers. So we'll see what's going on. Let's see if he got together. Please tell me it's working. Nothing. How in the hell? You know what? Try doing this, my brother. Try closing your browser out and completely coming out and coming back and see if it reconnect that way. While he's getting that together, 'cause I do want him to come in and stuff. I'm also getting ready to drop the invite in the chat, and I'm going to look at this poll because it's like, man, y'all killing the poll right now. I appreciate what y'all doing. I do got 9% that says the minimum is 17 wins. So shout out to you for wanting an undefeated season. you made your feelings known very well. But right now, 10 at minimum is what people is accepting. They're not accepting it. You got 4% who will accept 8. I'm pretty sure that probably comes with a caveat, like, you know, if you know something happens or something like that, you know, you might say, hey, I could take 8. But you know, he was good, Luke. You heard him? I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear nothing. Did y'all hear him? Lion King, I googled the best secondary ever, 85 Chicago. We compare this season, we bad, bro. Yeah. Oh, he didn't hear him either. He said, but you did hear. Are you bullshitting me? Wait, are you bullshitting me? Seriously? He's like, yeah, I heard him. You got me over here tripping on my own. Listen, man, listen. Ever since I got COVID, my brain ain't been there. Don't do me like that. He said, I didn't hear shit. Thank you. I'm gonna give him 2 thumbs up for that one. Also, the link is in the chat. So if you want to jump in, talk your stuff about the schedule, I am here for it. I am all here for it. I will leave the poll up for a little bit longer before I jump up out of this thing, and then see who want to jump in and talk some ball. And maybe it's something else you want to talk about. But at the end of the day, it's going to boil down to some things. Now, one of the things I got to point out, because when we're looking at this schedule, it does come down to the rush for me. And I got to ask y'all, because I'm getting ready to take the poll down. 12-5 this year, baby. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. See, this is what I want. I want high confidence. I want people who want the high number of wins. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. That's what I expect to see. Let me see how my poll looking really quick before I shut it down. Oh, a lot of people voted, and 10 at this point is the minimum. All right. I got one more poll to put up. One more. And again, I feel like it's the only thing I can do. If you were a coach, let me make it clear. If you were a coach, or let me say it, if you were a head coach, right, for any team coming in playing the Lions, how would you attack them to beat them? Okay, I'm gonna repeat it again. If you were a head coach and you was playing the Lions, how would you attack them to beat them? I want y'all to soak that in for a minute. All right. I want y'all to soak that in. All right. Because I think this lends itself to a problem with this schedule that we cannot overlook. Okay. We cannot overlook. I think this lends itself in a way that we need to just be honest about. Okay. It is what it is. Like, really. That's all it is. All right. So I'm giving you basically 3 options, and the poll is going up. All right. 3 options. My brethren is back. Let's see. And we're gonna find out. We're gonna see with the 3 options. The poll is up. Let's see if we got this thing going. Lions Rubble 81 is in the building. What's going on, my brother?
What up, though, Luke, man? Thank you,
Hey,
thank you.
You came in with a perfect intro. I heard the horn from there, like, like, hey,
elevator.
What's going on, brother?
Man, chilling, man. Thank God it's Friday. Shout out to you and Lions Fan Express. That was a hell of a stream. Shout out to all the mothers. Shout out to all the people in chat, man. It's a golden opportunity for the Lions to put themselves in the in the talks for many years to come, man.
Oh, 100%.
So shout out to that schedule.
Like, and the fans' expectations is 100% golden. Like it's 100% golden. I had 2 other polls, but I'm not gonna put it on there because at the end of the day, when your minimum for them is 10, I already know that you expect them to win the division. But I got that poll. I'm gonna save it for a different show, and I'm gonna try one weekend before the season gets started because as my children get into more and more events, I got to make sure we do it. Now we got some Super Bowl or bust for people. Run all over them. That's why you would do it. Run the ball all day. I mean, I'm asking. Shout out to Sean J, man. Welcome to the show. He said, I said, stop the run and run it down their throats.
That's it.
That's
it. Sounds simple enough, but with Dan, you're gonna have some trickery in there. I think this year they really, man, that's a tall task to ask such a young team to kind of, bring the NFL back to kind of prominence. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why we're not in Hard Knocks this year, to be honest. Just the city.
I don't
too,
want
man.
it. And we didn't have a losing record. That's why we're not on Hard Knocks. You got to have a losing record.
Oh yeah, that's true. You're right about that. But I think they're just trying to introduce the the league and the rest of the nation to the city because we're hosting the draft next year. So shout out to Goodell. I think that's one of the things he did right was to kind of, kind of put us in the spotlight more this year so that come next year draft, the city's going to be buzzing. So I like it. I
Yeah.
think this team's more capable to withstand the schedule than a lot of other teams in the NFL right now.
No, I'm with you. I think what you're hitting on is simply put. I do got to ask you though, Rumble.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna answer this question for my man Mota. I can answer this one real quick, and then I'll get into it. He says, Luke, would you trade for Quentin Williams? Personally, I would. Yeah, I sure as hell would. Would I give up a first round pick for him? Probably not. Would I give up a second round pick for him in a heartbeat? Would I give up a second and a fourth? Sure would. Right? But you got to pay him. I don't care. Quentin Williams next to Aleem McNeil. Good luck with that. Good luck with that shit. I'm sorry. Good luck with that. Try. You want to try. You want to talk about being able to fix the middle of your. And then now you got inside linebacker that everybody's in belief of is going to be stellar for our team. I certainly believe he's going to be better than Malcolm Rodriguez, who is not a starting linebacker in this league. I cannot say this enough. I don't know why I had to even go through all this damn stuff.
Right, no, which is good. You know, he was like a Band-Aid last year, some games. Some games he really, he had some great plays in the middle. But like you say, I don't think he's a starter.
Yeah, 100%. Shout out to Lion Fan Express. He says, Lions fans, let's get them likes up. Hey, and please, it's in the description. Just go click the link. If you don't know how to do that, look at the name, type it in, it will come up. I need him. I need Lions Pulse. I need them at 1,000. I need Roar the Lions UK at over 2,000 because y'all don't understand. They're giving you that, and they're giving you the Lions plus college.
Yeah,
and then
man.
some. They got articles.
Oh my gosh.
They got people writing articles. My man Steve over there putting in work. We got people over there taking care of it. I need these numbers up. And whenever you create a den that's got a bunch of other lions and we can roam together, it's all bad. Think about it. A pack of lions versus a pack of wolves. Lions win. All day.
All day.
I'm trying to get the den up, man. We need to stop that passing. I'm just putting it out there. It says the good teams only run to keep the defense honest. They won't to throw the ball. But if that's how you would beat us, do what Luke's son does to him in Smash Brothers. Just flat out annihilate him. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I found two characters that apparently I've seen to get a little better with. Donkey Kong has been a lifesaver for me. This big brute has been something different. Shout out to the classic character of Donkey Kong. And the other one is Simus from Metro.
Oh man, yeah, he was always tricky to use for me.
Yeah,
he
so
got all kind of gadgets.
I've been giving my son a run for the money. He's still beating the brakes off of me, but it ain't as easy as it used to be. All right, it's a little bit more challenging now. Putting in this practice time, he got me over here putting in practice hours.
Practice? We talking about practice?
Talking about practice, not the game. Not the game, but
practice.
Jack Campbell, Branch, CJ Gardner Johnson are the Lions' answer to rushing quarterbacks. I hope so. What about the rushing attack? What happens when you come into a game and all of a sudden you're going against, say, the Panthers, and they got Bryce Young, Foreman. I mean, not Foreman. God damn! I forgot the dude's name. But they're running RPOs and stuff because we had a hard time with that with the Eagles. Yeah. So, and we had a hard time with the Bears too.
I think this year, like you said, Aiden is gonna. I think you're gonna have to game plan against him, and I think the refs are gonna be looking more to see if he's getting held. I think there were some games last year where he was getting held, and he was just the bias of being a rookie. But I don't know, man. This just feels different, man. I think now that the league is sort of warming up to our Detroit Lions, and I think we're going to get much more evenly, penalties against, and that shouldn't matter, but at the same time it should, because it's letting those guys know that, you know, when they give their effort, that it sometimes can be rewarded. So yeah, they're not going to be all like in their feelings if they don't get a call right away, or, you know, if they're not getting a call. It's like that kind of demoralizes you when you're not getting a call and you know you're being held. So shout out to them, man. More primetime games, and man, I'm just excited for this young team, man, and the city as a whole, and our fan base, man. So wow.
I got to get into it now. What do you
Okay.
think the Lions' record is going to be?
Me, I'm kind of along with you guys, 10 to 12 wins.
Okay.
I think that Saints game is going to be the Saints game, obviously the New England game, and obviously sweeping the Vikings. I think those games
we don't play New England. We play the Raiders.
Oh yeah, okay, my bad.
Yeah, we play the Raiders, we play the Saints. The Vikings, to me, I feel like they're gonna split. It's somehow, some way they're gonna split. We should sweep the division. We should have an automatic 6 wins against, but somehow the Vikings.
And that's why I'm kind of leaning towards a double-digit win season. For the first time in a long time.
I mean, listen, a lot of history is supposed to be made from the Lions this year, according to Vegas and the betting people. The Lions are supposed to essentially win the NFC North for the first time, win their first division, I think, since '93 when it was the Central. The Lions are supposed to have double-digit wins and host a playoff game for the first time since, was it 90? Was that 91? Or
we played?
Who was that?
We played Dallas in the Silverdome, right?
Yeah, I can't. I think it was 91. I think that was 91 where we beat Dallas, and then so it's a lot of history that can be made in this short period of time. And
Vegas must have been in my head, because I said all that too before the schedule came out. I just the way the team was playing last year, that second half of the season was nothing short of, bro. It was like watching remember the Titans in live form. It's like, yeah, they fired Arbery. It was choppy, and then they rattled off, six straight wins, or 6-1, and it was just like, and then to end Aaron Rodgers' career in Lambeau, the very last game of the season, regular season, it was just like a Sunday with a cherry on top. It couldn't have been more, man. What a refreshing season last year.
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel like there's a lot of things that happened last year, and we have every opportunity. It says Fields ran for 95 yards against the Eagles last year. I think he did damage against us last year. I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain that he really did a lot of damage to the Lions last year.
Instead of the Patriots, I was thinking about the Carolina game. My bad. The Carolina game is the one I was thinking about. That should be circled on our calendar, because we didn't show up at all. That game was over with at halftime.
Yeah, I'm curious. I really am curious as to what was Justin Fields' numbers in those games. I already know what their rushing totals were.
That first game he played us last year, he destroyed us running the ball.
I feel like, and I could be wrong. Now, I could be wrong about this, but I remember us having the damnedest times trying to stop him from running. Like, I could be wrong. I'm finna go back.
That first game for sure. Yeah, that first game for sure. We had a hard time stopping him running the ball.
So the first game for sure, you said we had a hard time.
Yeah.
All right. My brain sometimes go out the door. But Justin Fields, the first game, had 13 rushing attempts, or I should say carries, for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, then you had 10 carries from Khalil Herbert for 57 yards, 9 carries from David Montgomery for 37 yards, 2 carries from the other St. Brown brother for 9 yards. Like, I'm just putting it out there. They gave up 258 total rushing yards on 35 rushing.
And he had 100 and what of them? 30?
He had 147 of them. like I'm just saying, like, we have a problem. Like, when you go to the second game that they had against the Chicago Bears, he had 10 carries for 132 yards.
Oh.
5 carries from Khalil Herbert for 31 yards, 6 carries for 24 yards from David Montgomery. We gave up 200 rushing yards on 22 attempts.
Yeah, that's nuts, bro.
Yeah, listen, not my idea. That's just that mobile quarterback, right? Like go just look at the games where you win against mobile quarterbacks, right? Like I'm not even making it up. For the people who think that we fixed it, I don't know if we did or not. Let's see. Miles Sanders had 13 carries for 96 yards. Jalen Hurts had 17 carries for 90 yards. I'm trying to think. What other games we had a mobile quarterback in?
Carolina, apparently. I didn't know that USFL QB had it like that.
No. He wasn't over there. Was he over there this past season? I think they had a different quarterback. I think they had Sam Darnold this year. When we had the XFL or whatever that was when Matt Patricia was here, and they embarrassed the sweet Jesus out of us. It was bad, man. It was like really
Isn't that
bad.
who they had last year? The Carolina QB?
I think they had Sam Darnold last year. And I'm right.
He was
I just
killing
looked it up. No, Dante Foreman had 21 rushing attempts for 165 yards. Chuba Herbert 12 carries for 125 yards. Sam Darnold, 6 carries for 19 yards. Like, I'm just trying to figure out, like what other teams, like, I don't even think Dak Prescott ran on us, but I'm finna look. Dak Prescott was mobile.
You said Rashard Penny.
Rashard Penny
had a field day.
He definitely, but I'm just looking at the quarterbacks that we just, like, the people who had a mobile quarterback. I don't think we beat a team that had a mobile quarterback outside of the Bears. Like, I don't even count Aaron Rodgers as mobile for real. Like I'm like, who in the hell did we beat that had you know what I mean? Like,
damn, you're right.
I don't know if we
we went toe to toe with Philly and Buffalo.
Yeah, but this year, I'm telling fans right now, almost don't count. Horseshoes is not what we watching, and I'm not accepting that this season. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
This ain't a bowl of Lucky Charms.
I'm not doing it. Oh, we was almost close. I don't give a shit. Close the deal out. Josh Allen, 10 rushing attempts, 78 yards and a touchdown.
Ugh. Man. Hopefully Jack sat spy or some. One of them's gonna have to spy those mobile QBs, man. 2 people at least. I'd say a safety and a linebacker.
That. But Dak Prescott didn't. He had 3 attempts for 0 yards. See, that's what I'm saying. Quarterbacks who don't really rely on their legs, I'm not concerned with. Quarterbacks who I know who don't have a problem taking off a run, it's a concern. And like I said, you gave up over 200, almost 300 yards to a quarterback in rushing. So it's rough. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
dang.
Why are the Jets trading Williams? They don't want to pay him.
Exactly.
They don't want to pay him.
Yeah.
What was his passing? I don't really care what Justin Fields' passing was, because at the end of the day, it's not like you can say he had receivers to throw to. It's not like you can say he had a line to protect him. He was the offense for the Bears.
He really was.
And so, as much as I would as much as I would like to look at it and say, hey, these things didn't occur, those games, wasn't there for that. Is Mahomes a mobile quarterback? No, he's not. It says Mahomes as mobile as Fields? No. And that's my problem. Like Mahomes, like I'll give you a perfect example, right? To give you let me see if I can bring it up on the screen. But to give you an idea of why I'm not concerned with Patrick Mahomes. Why I'm not concerned, because he's pass first. He's like Aaron Rodgers can run, but he's pass first. Right? Like nobody's gonna say, oh, he's a runner. He's a runner, he's a track star. They're not gonna say that with him. You know what I'm saying?
He would rather run back and forth to find an open man, like you said. We've seen him do that multiple games where it's like, bro, just take off. And he'll run right, and then he'll come back left, and then he'll throw it downfield. It's like he's always looking for that home run ball. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
And to do comparisons, like I'm gonna just do like comparisons to like say like Lamar Jackson. I'll do what's my man's name? The Eagles quarter. Yeah, Hurst.
Yeah.
Just to do a comparison so you can see what I mean about quarterbacks who are not just mobile, but they rely on them legs. They rely on them. Like we can go through and just look at 3 of them that I'm just telling you, like, hey, these things matter because you're gonna have to have a game plan to account for this and to stop it. You have to. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. So off rip, let me bring this on the screen. Hold on, let me see right here. All right, let me bring this up on the screen, good people. I want y'all to see it. And Mahomes can do it all. It's just a quarterback keeping his eyes down the field to throw the ball is more dangerous than a quarterback looking to run. It is. Mm-hmm. I agree. But I think that plays into our strength more, right? Like, we spent money on the secondary. So you want to keep your eyes down the field looking? Cool. Because that's what we have Aiden Hutchinson for. That's what we have James Houston for. Those guys need to be getting home. That's what Romeo Core is for.
Absolutely.
Like, that's just the reality of it. All right, so let's take a quick gander. All right, let's take a quick gander. All right, and so off rip, this is what I'm talking about when I look at it. This is Patrick Mahomes over the years as a rusher. 10 yards, 272, 218, 308, 381, 358, 1,547 yards. He clearly wants to throw the fucking ball.
Mm-hmm.
He clearly wants to. I mean, you don't get 5,000 yards passing because you want to run. 4,000, 48, 47. Like, come on. Now you switch that over to Lamar Jackson, who, again, I'm not hating on the guy, but look at his passing yards, 12,000. But look at 1,200, 31, 27, 28, 2. And you look at the rushing, this man wants to run the ball. He got 4,437 rushing yards. He has no problem. He will take off on you faster than a criminal from the police. I'm trying to find a good word for it. I was finna go somewhere different.
I thought you was going to go somewhere dark with it.
I caught myself.
Mother's Day, baby daddy's on child
support.
Yeah,
listen, I had to catch myself. I didn't want to push no stereotypes. All right? But my point is, you see the difference in the rushing, right?
Right.
It's not even close. You go to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is very similar. But what they did for him is they allow for him to run more. And you see now that they were upping him up. But then that first year, they wanted him to be more of a pocket passer. And then as it went on, it evolved into him. Let's get him more involved in the run game. Absolutely. And so, those guys I'm looking at as mobile. I'm not looking at these guys who clearly want to just throw the damn ball. Clearly. Like, look at the average runs and all this stuff. Like, he's not even running a whole lot. Like, this is nothing. You go and look at these numbers over here: 147 rushing attempts, 176, 159, 133, 112. You come over here, 165, 139. Like, this dude he mobile. He has mobility in there, but he's not the kind of quarterback that I'm worried about. He's going to look the pass first, and that plays into our hand. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm pointing out. Not trying to reinvent the wheel, just pointing it out. But Adrian Martinez was brought in to be the scout team quarterback, right? He ain't running like them. See, this is the thing. You can bring people in to do certain things, but they got to have the same mentality as the other runners. He's not a run mentality type guy. That's not him. He tried to be a passer. I'm good. Like, but I hope y'all get my point. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna be able to stay on too long. I want to check the poll out, see where we at. We got 29 votes. If you were a head coach and you was playing the Lions, how would you attack them? Holy crap! I was trying to type it and get my point out. But how attacking them to win? It was meant to be how would you attack them to win? 67% says that they would run the ball.
Yeah.
13% said they would pass the ball on them, and 20% said they would do a balanced attack. More power to you. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just wanted to kind of address the schedule. Let me address this new D tackle that the Lions signed. He's nobody. He can't be. I'm sorry, he can't be. It's a reason why you got Aleem McNeil. It's a reason why you brought Kominski back. It's a reason why you brought Bugs back. Why you brought in Broderick Martin. Why you re-added Benito. There are reasons for those things, and those reasons do not change because you added a guy like Covington. He doesn't move the needle. Whose spot he taking? He ain't taking Bug's spot. He ain't taking Kominski's spot. He ain't taking Aleem McNeil's spot. Whose spot he taking? As far as I'm concerned, he's a cap body. He's somebody who's coming in to give us a little depth there, but you're not keeping him.
Yeah, it just all depends what we do with Anzarike. If he's eligible and ready to play, I think that kid still has a lot in the tank. The kid is absolute. His training alone, man. Like his YouTube channel prior to the draft, before we drafted him, he was doing 3-4 days. 3 or 4 days. I hope we can. Hope with this new medical team. I hope these guys are getting properly diagnosed. I hope they're getting properly, rehab. And I can't stress that enough. I know I said it last stream too, but that is so important with a rigorous schedule like the NFL. We need our bodies out there in the field. So hopefully Levi's ready to rock and roll, man. I really hope and pray he is, because that kid he's a handful.
Well, if you told me to hold my breath for Levi Anzarike,
don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it. I don't want to be that guy, but if I had to hold my breath, it is what it is.
Yeah, but I like the schedule. It's going to be, what better team to have this kind of schedule than a team whose head coach wants kneecaps. This team is they were built with a chip on their shoulder. And it's a good chip. We're a blue collar city, and these boys are ready, man. These boys are like, oh yeah, we got the backstory. And shout out to the youngins coming in, and shout out to Sheila with merging some of our legends with these young cats, man. Saw a photo with Barry Sanders and Megatron with some of the young talent we drafted, and that made me smile from ear to ear. So shout out to her for rebuilding those relationships that were once like volatile and just bad.
Like I said, once you got an owner who know what a text message was, you was winning. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that was huge.
So
that fan man says Covington is Levi Insurance, right? No, he is a camp body. I agree with. I forget the username that said it this earlier, but I think it was Steve-O. I don't think Brad Holmes done. He's going to swing a deal to add more talent, especially to the interior side. The thing is can he get it cheap? All right, and that's just what it is. Can you get it cheap? And so I get it. Shout out to Truth Teller. He says, run the ball. Do not let Goff throw more than 30, 35, closer to 30 times against the Chiefs. That's how you would game plan against them. Again, and the question becomes, down the stretch, as you look at these polls that you guys voted on, have we done enough to fix these problems? That's what it's going to be, 100%. Let me get into this final thoughts. First of all, let me thank my guest who came on, my man Lions Rumble, who's he's not really a guest. He's part of the show. He just, like me, he works.
Yeah, I'm out here, man. I think I'm on my last stretch out here in West Virginia, man.
Yeah,
it's been real out here. So
yeah, so it's hey, you got to get the money, man. Family first, right?
Yes,
and then obviously Lions Fan Express, man, who has been a long time subscriber, who has just decided to get into this game. I think he's at like 300 subscribers, and we can definitely get him to 1,000 if we spread the word and show some love to them videos. And he's pumping them out so damn fast. Like, gosh,
incredible.
Good job, man.
Kudos to him, man.
But get people your final thoughts, man, because I actually today we get to play a different game.
Uh-oh.
He decided to challenge me in a classic. People, let me just tell you something. There are certain games that every one of you have played that you was the man in when you were playing it. And one of those games for me was one particular game called Street Fighters. And since he decided
Oh man.
to challenge me in a fighting game, it's two games we getting ready to play. One is Samurai Showdown, the other one is Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Oof.
You know, I'm deadly with Fei Long on Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So
Okay.
he finna find out the hard way, and he's also finna find out that in Samurai Showdown, you're never going to challenge me on that one again. I'm finna hurt feelings on that too. But let me just be clear that it's a joy. I want to do this and knock this out. I may be doing a show tomorrow, because I know on Mother's Day, I still have the opportunity to greet my mother, and I want to make sure
That's
I do
awesome.
that. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? I know, I got family and friends who can't do it. And so my mother has extended herself to them, and she's cooking this whole big dinner and letting them know,
Wow.
like, hey, you may have lost one mom, but you got me. So yeah, if you are out and you got a mother to still talk to, even if y'all beefed out, a happy Mother's Day go a very, very long way. If it doesn't hurt
Yeah.
anything, you can send it by email, mail, text message, voicemail. Just let them know that they are appreciated. My man Rumble, give me your final thoughts before I get into mine.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to I'm a Killer Instinct guy myself. But yeah, yeah, man, great stream tonight. I was glad to catch you guys. Shout out to the community, man. It's growing more and more. Shout out to all you streamers, man. All you guys who are taking your talent and your hobby and making it, making your voice heard. So shout out to all these platforms that you guys are able to do that. And shout out to everyone in the chat, man. We become like, extended family. Of course, Luke, always, man, always a pleasure. You're always available when I need you, whatever random text messages I may send you. So whatever.
Hey, I respond. When I say, I'm like, hey,
man.
I respond. I may be
It's-
slow sometimes, but I
it's
make sure
incredible.
I respond.
Yeah, but yeah, man, man, I'm super excited. I want to try to get to a game this year for sure. Hopefully, the Las Vegas game. I think that would be dope. But yeah, guys, just keep supporting these guys. Keep supporting these guys. Let's just keep this fan base growing, man. Shout out to, like I said, the chat. You guys are the momentum and the force behind this whole movement. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to you, Luke. You've been a voice for many, many years. You open your platform up to me, so I appreciate that as always. Shout out to everyone that you put on too, man. So yeah, man, let's keep this thing going, man. I hope to be more involved during the season this year, God willing. And yeah, man, love you guys. Luke, happy Mother's Day to your mom, and all you guys in the chat. Happy Mother's Day to your moms, and yeah, man, I'm out.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, listen, I enjoy doing the streams, and yeah, Crumb, I know it's a new Street Fighter come on. That new Street Fighter got too many damn buttons. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going back to the simple one, the simplest time when you had 3, maybe 4 buttons. But the new Street Fighter got buttons that I don't even know who came up with this. It's too complicated for me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, you remember the time when holding the D-pad back was blocked? Where the hell that go? When
I know.
they just gonna get rid of it? Like, just saying. Too complicated. But I do watch all of the Street Fighter tournaments on YouTube. They be intense. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the new Street Fighters is too goddamn complicated. I remember when it was half circle and A for our Duke, and like it wasn't,
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell it is now.
Oh man. Yeah.
But today's positive quote comes from Medea. Yeah, you know that character that Tyler Perry made up, Medea, the one that plays the mother/grandmother Medea. Yeah, don't get caught up in the idea that it's a guy dressed as a woman. No, I want you to get caught up in the idea that it's the figure of a mother that's the presence. The quote is simple, okay? There's a reason why the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror. Whoo, boy, I tell you, I needed this one. It's a reason why the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror. I found myself too often looking in the rearview mirror. Did I leave something behind? Did I forget this? Oh, that person's still there. This did I be in this job? But I didn't realize how big the windshield was. You see that there's a reason for it. The view in which you are headed needs to be big. The view in which you are going needs to be open. It needs to be free and unobstructed by anything. And too often, you're looking in a smaller piece of glass because you're trying to make things happen that need to be behind, that needs to be left where it's left, that needs to stay back where it's at. Because you can have a moment of peace simply by understanding I have to keep moving forward. I have to be able to see the vision as big as it is in front of me with clarity. You see, if they wanted you to look out the back window so much, they would have not gave you that little bitty mirror. They wouldn't have gave you the mirror to see on the side. They wanted you to put your attention on what's ahead of you. They wanted you to make sure that you can see every obstacle before it comes up. They could have easily put you in a car with a slit the size of a damn envelope, but that's not what they wanted. They wanted you to understand that the more important thing is what's in front of you. And when you have the opportunity to see how big the windshield is, when you have an opportunity to see what's more important in front of you, you have an opportunity to keep on showing the people that what you have planned for yourself in your life is bigger than what's behind you. When you let people know that all the things you came from never stop you, it never shuts you down, it never slows you down. When you have that moment, when you have that epiphany, with the clarity, all the obstacles and everything that was in your way that you kept tripping up on because you were too busy focused on what's behind you, doesn't even matter anymore. Because the picture was always bigger than you even knew it. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. And as always, if you don't do nothing else, don't be no chump. Please do your research. And let me shout out to my homeboy Go Lions and Mark LeBay. Gotta be out of here. I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Mother's Day to you.